Hey everyone, this is going to be the twins 2-month update. I'm a little bit behind as they turned 2 months on 12/22. I'm just a few days short of Christmas. Um, and they had their appointment on 12/19. So I'll just go through their stats real quick. Easton's came in weighing at 9 pounds 11 ounces and 22 inches. And Ella came in weighing 9 pounds even, and she was 21.5 inches long. Now, if you remember, Easton was 7 pounds 4 ounces, and Ella was 6 pounds 6 ounces when they were born. So they're growing. At their 1 month appointment, the doctor was a little kind of like they were growing, but not as well as she wanted them to. But between 1 month and 2 months, they're growing great. So they each gained exactly a pound, basically. I think so Easton was born at 7 pounds 4 ounces at his 1 month appointment. He was 7 pounds 14 ounces because they lost 10% of their weights. Remember that. And then Ella was, hello PJ. Ella was 6 pounds 6 ounces, and at her 1 month she was 7 pounds. So she gained exactly 2 pounds, and he gained almost exactly 2 pounds. So that's really great news. It's so exciting. So they're growing. They're getting even bigger. I feel like since that appointment, just this past week, they grew so much. So after their 2-month birthday on the 22nd, if you watched my 2 vlogs ago, I think, on the Tuesday, so 12/23, it's Christmas Eve, we ended up in the emergency department. I had called 911, and Easton was choking, and I couldn't get him to breathe, and it was a pretty traumatic event. So what came of it is they had silent reflux, and it causes, both of them have a syndrome that 1%, I think it's 1% of infants get, called Sandifer's syndrome. And so since then they've been put on, Easton was put on Zantac, and then they gave me the option if I felt the need to start Ella on it, which she then the following day did the same thing again. Hers wasn't as bad, but they gave me the option to put her on it. I did. So they both get Zantac twice a day, the lowest dose possible. And it seems to be helping. So it's helping with spitting up too, which is great. Other than that, they're smiling and they're laughing and they interact with you. I know this is kind of in their 3rd month, but this past week they started picking up and grabbing toys and playing with toys. They both hate tummy time, but they both have really good head control. They can't hold it up all the time yet. Ella definitely more than Easton, but we're getting there. I have to remember that they're a month behind in their actual age. So even though they were 2 months, they're really 1 month adjusted age because they were born 4 weeks early. So I'm just winging it as far as parenthood goes. We didn't read any books, and we're just kind of, I don't know, I just do what we have to do to try and get them to where they need to be. They both are still breastfed. I exclusively pump. We do supplement with formula. They get Enfamil Gentlease. They're taking in anywhere from 3 to 5 ounces of feeding. Majority of the time it's 4 ounces, sometimes 5, and sometimes 3 if I don't pump enough and I don't want to give them formula. They'll have 3, and I'll have their next feeding. They'll usually complain way sooner, and they'll just have another feed in a few hours. So I am pumping, I think, anywhere between 30 and 40 ounces a day, which is not enough for the 2 of them, obviously, if you do the math. If they're taking anywhere from 25 to 30 ounces a day, I'm only pumping enough for 1 baby. So they do get about 2 bottles a day of formula. The Gentlease seems to be working, so we're staying on that. Ella was really constipated this past week, which was kind of scary because she ended up passing like a hard stool twice, and the doctors actually told me to give her Caro syrup, and I ended up not doing it because it kind of freaked me out, and she ended up having a complete blowout the next day. So she's good now, but we tried water and bicycle kicks and the Vaseline trick and all that stuff. So I think eventually her system ended up working out. But what the nurse did say is that because I was eating gluten and I typically don't, it probably bothered her. So I'm back to being strict with my diet. to make sure that it doesn't bind them up and make them sick. So I think that's pretty much it for their 2-month update. They're just great babies. They sleep well. They feed once a night. Depending on what time we go to bed, I don't really have a structured schedule with them, which can be good and can be bad, but we just kind of go with the flow. They're great babies. We can go anywhere with them. We do have like a bedtime routine. It's just depends on what time it actually happens, depends on what we did during the day, and obviously the past 2 weeks have been holiday. And my husband's been on vacation, so we've just not had a real schedule. Obviously, Monday, once we get back into the routine, I have a schedule to keep me sane during the day, so we'll get back. But they usually go down around 8. They'll wake up around 10. Sometimes they don't wake up, and they sleep until 1 or 2. Between 1 and 2, 1 and 3, and then they'll get up not until like between 5 and 7, and then they'll feed then. So we're getting in about between 6 and 7, 6 and 8 bottles a day, depending if they're really hungry or if they're not hungry or whatever. But they're growing because they're growing out of their clothes like crazy, so I'm not concerned by any means that we're not feeding them enough because they're getting it. They sleep great, they nap great, they play. They're just really great, easy babies. I mean, they do get cranky and fussy, but that's babies. They all do that, so can't really complain about that either. So they have a 3-week follow-up on the 16th to follow up with the reflux, the GERD, and all that junk, and then they don't have an appointment until 4 months, which is in February, and I think it's 2/20 is their appointment. So yeah, they're great. I love them. So I will insert a few pictures here for you guys so you can see them, and I will be back on as soon as I can. I guess I could talk about me super quick. I haven't lost any additional weight, so all the baby weight is gone. Now it's just focusing on me. I think breastfeeding, I'm trying to eat more calories, therefore I kind of gained 5 more pounds back that I had lost after having them. But I am working out, and that's going great, and yeah, so I'm doing well, and we're doing great. So I will see you guys soon. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, anything, leave them below, and I hope you all had a great holiday and a happy new year.